Today I'm going to show you the different types of fuel and how to set it up in your flavor drawer. The majority of the products we're going to go through today are intended for indirect heating and cooking, meaning they should not be placed directly underneath your food. For best results, they should be placed in the wood product zone furthest away from your food. Okay, let's talk charcoal. We all know about charcoal, but I'm going to show you the difference between lump and briquette. Some people like to use lump charcoal because it's natural and it produces less ash, but it's prone to temperature spikes. Briquettes will provide uniform temperatures and a consistent cooking experience time after time. Usually you'll only want to use about 2 pounds, maybe 3 if you're set up for high temperature searing. Okay, depending on how much charcoal you put in the flavor drawer, it should be up and running and ready to go in 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, moving on to wood chips. These small pieces of wood are great for quickly adding flavor to your cooks. Readily available, and they come in a lot of different flavors, from hickory to mesquite, and even your fruits like apple and cherry. You only want to use about 5 ounces of the chips when you're using gas. If you're using charcoal, you can just sprinkle them on there as long as it's not directly under your food. Because the wood chips are small, you want to soak them in water for about an hour. It makes them last a little longer. Depending on how much you put in there and how long you've soaked them, they should be ready to go in about 4 to 6 minutes. All right, moving on to the wood pellets. If you have a pellet grill, you probably have some pellets laying around. You can also use those in the flavor drawer. And the great thing about that is if you're at the store and you see an exotic blend, there you go. You can add some more flavor on the Flavor Pro. Just like the smaller wood chips, these are dense, so they burn up pretty quick, and you only want to use about 8 ounces over low heat. And again, depending on how much you put in there, the pellet should be ready to go in about 7 to 8 minutes. Moving on to the wood chunks. It's the same principle as the chips, except they're bigger, and they don't burn up as quickly, and they're really good for smoking and smoldering. Wood chunks are also readily available at your local hardware store, and they come in all sorts of different flavors, from mesquite to hickory and fruit flavors. Use about 16 ounces of these with low heat if you're using gas. And if you're using charcoal, make sure it's not directly underneath your food. Depending on how much of the wood chunks that you're using, they should be lit and ready to go in about 4 to 6 minutes. All right, we're on to wood logs. These are usually reserved for barbecue, but not anymore. As you would expect, logs burn a lot longer, and they give off a lot more of the smoky wood flavor. You only want to use the logs for indirect cooking over low flames. When you're using logs, the flames can be more unpredictable. While the flavor is more intense, so can the risk of burning your food. Wood logs are a little harder to find, so you can find a limited assortment at your local hardware store. Wherever you source your logs, make sure they're about 3 inches in diameter or less, and are split into pieces that are 7 inches or about the length of your hand. We want to make sure that you're not using too many logs and they're not too big for the risk of burning up your food and your grill. If loaded properly, your wood logs should be lit and ready to go in about 10 to 12 minutes. For more information, go to Char-Griller.com and follow us on social media.